All right, my name is Cass Thomas, and
Yeah.
it hasn't always been Cass Thomas, but it's back to Cass Thomas or forward to Cass
Mhm.
Thomas now. And originally from the United States of America, Boston and New York, currently living in Rome, Italy, and done lots of things and have been doing lots of things in my life. And this is a call about right voice for you, and it is an access consciousness specialty class. And I am a facilitator of that. And so is the dear Noah. Tell us
Hello.
hello.
Okay, so I'm Noah. Noah Lev has always been that and still. Maybe the so many years. Yeah. So I'm an Access CF certified facilitator and right voice for you facilitator for 2 years. And yeah, I know Cass. We know each other for quite few years now. Um, she's been in Israel. I saw her abroad, and yeah, we just were in a question: what can we do now, just to bring something else to the world, some other voice with everything that is going on? And I think there's someone should be muted. I don't want to say who.
Oh, how can
Yeah.
you have the right voice for you if you're muted? Just a joke.
So
Just a joke.
if you're really asking, I can talk about it. Your voice can be many things, also the
Exactly.
the noises and stuff. So
Exactly.
we were
And
just
the right voice for you is not always about speaking. So that was a joke. Yeah.
and also a truth.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So we were talking for a while and asking what can we create and be and contribute to the world with our voice and to right voice for you into the world. And what came up were some interesting things that we would like to introduce here today for some level, and we'll go forward deeper to this thing or to those things later on in the next few weeks. So just let's maybe start first of all. Oh, just to say, if you have any questions, we would wanted to do that just to meet you guys to talk a little bit about this, and also to hear if you have any questions or something you want to see or ask. So you can just write in the chat or just raise your hand later, and we'll be happy to interact. So, yeah, let's maybe just start with anyone who doesn't know what's the right voice for you or something like that. Cass, what is it?
Absolutely. Because so many things are quite clear, but especially when we are talking about the you, right? That actually people don't get that they don't have to learn something. They actually simply and quite profoundly be connected with themselves, right? And I talk a lot about that with the 7 steps also. But the communication that you have with you allows you to have a voice that comes out in a different way.
Oh, damn.
Exactly. Thank you for that.
Correct.
Particular. And so when we are talking with people or people are talking with us, sometimes it actually doesn't feel good to us, and the way we respond or engage with them or begin talking is not actually who we are. It's who we think we need to be, right?
Mhm.
And so your life is so much more delightful when you are sharing with yourself, with your body, your presence, and really recognizing the vibe or the vibration that you are when you are truly present and expressing yourself vocally, right, through your voice. Yeah. And your
Yeah.
voice does start talking before it becomes audible,
So
right?
that's been this, this gray area of what's going on before we even express our voices. There's so many things that are happening there. It's like it can be the breath, it can be the voice, it can be what you plan to say, it can be what you perceive, it can be also your energy, even before you start expressing yourself. It is talking. Your energy is talking in the world. So it can be many, many layers of that. And it can be also the voice that you took from others and the way you were raised or the place you come from. It can be like, I bring the voice of Israeli energy or something else. Do you bring the Italy thing or the USA thing? What are you? What is your voice? Maybe we shouldn't bring those voices. Maybe we should be or can be beyond it. Um,
I love that you ask that, right? Because I mean, I've also lived in Paris for years speaking French. I've also traveled around the world. And people always ask me, where are you from? You don't sound like you're from Boston or from, the States all the time. And I'm from planet Earth. Anybody else here from planet Earth?
no, 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 maybe not. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I was just raising my hand automatically, and yet, no, 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 I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel here like like a guest that is looking at what's going on in the world and what the heck exactly, what the heck you people are thinking? What are you thinking by what are you doing in this planet? On this planet, to this planet. It's like I look from a side and I say, what? So sometimes it's like we belong but not belong, and our voices can be so unique and even special, like no one else. No, no reference point to a place, to people, to a country, even not to this planet, because maybe your voice, the thing that you can and would bring to this world, is not from this world. Is not here yet. It can be created. Maybe there's something you would like to create, and it's not here yet. Maybe you perceive it. Maybe you listen to it and you would like to express it. So maybe it sounds strange for anyone who didn't do access. Maybe it doesn't. Let's say this just the whole things we are talking about are from access consciousness, the the method that is called access consciousness. If anyone here doesn't know yet, um, so yeah, we are
You
from
can
planet
find
Earth.
that on accessconsciousness.com.
Yeah,
But what you are talking about, what you are saying with your voice is from you, right? I really loved that sometimes what you are expressing is not when you are connected with you and having the voice that is yours, then you may be inviting something that has not yet existed here on planet Earth, right? And why
yeah,
we chose to come here at this time and the contribution that we can be and receive if we're willing to be connected with us. And I can play a little bit with how sometimes people talk and they're like really talking from this part, or sometimes they're talking just from their chest. But when you are really talking and connected with you and communicating, right? With words, yes. But one word, and this is something we say in Access, one word verbally and 10 words vibrationally, right? So,
mm,
what is your vibe? And what is it that when you are talking with whomever you are talking and communicating, that if you're willing actually to be your vibration, just like Noah said, you will probably be inviting something that has yet to exist, not only in that person or that group or that audience or that neighborhood or that country, but that has not yet existed in the world, right?
yeah.
There are some numbers that we play with access with that too, that are quite fun, and it's not hugely structured. However, we have been working with the right voice for you for quite a while. And
Yeah.
it, the structure, quote unquote, of it, the way it is organized, depends on who's there and what they are asking for, perhaps not verbally, however, what their mind, body, spirits, voices are asking for. And so if there's something that really that, I can share, that when I was first moving to New York, and I really adored this girl who was, I was in the first year of university, but she was in a couple of years older. She's still my friend, but she had something go on with her when she was born. So the way she talked was like this. And so, having never been in a city, lived in a city with 10 million people in Boston, where I was born, there were only 650,000. I didn't realize that. I thought, wow, this New York girl. So when I went home for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and I was talking like this, my sister, who had come to visit me in New York and met this woman, said to me, Cass, when you were born, you did not have that problem with your mouth. So that is not the way you talk. You
Wow.
were not talking. She didn't really say you're not being the right voice for you, but she said you are not expressing yourself in the way that you have done ever since I've known you, because
Wow.
she's my older sister. So, how and what are we expressing in how many different ways that are not actually who we are? And how does that detach us from who we are and also others
You
from
know, you
what
talk.
we can be for them? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for this story. It's like it. I have many experiences with voices and stuff as I work with that also before Access and parallel to it. And when I was just starting working on the radio, when I was 18, on the first audition they put me through, uh, it was like I didn't know how to really bring my voice out there in a unique way, or maybe even in a free way. I was talking really, really fast and really, really high, and I didn't know how to control it or to use it in the way that will work. So I was just going to this audition like that, and I remember the person there, uh, the judge or the whatever, told me, "You know what? No, you're talking too fast." Maybe I don't know. And then I got to the radio from a different part. I was like a musical editor. And then I started to bring my voice to the microphone. So then I just learned, taught myself to listen to myself and then talk differently, to listen to myself and talk differently. And so I just, prepared myself to bringing my voice differently in the world. And just after years, maybe just when I got to Access, I just realized that were in some class, foundation class or something, it was like the facilitator talked with me about me slowing myself down in my life, stopping myself. And it hit me like, I don't know, like a big hammer. Wow, that person that told me you're too fast, you're talking too fast, made me think that maybe I'm too fast and I should slow myself down in my life. So it was not only my voice that I can talk or control, it was also the voice of me acting, being in the world too slow, because otherwise I'll be too much, I'll be too fast or something. So it was really, really interesting to see how we express ourselves can be in many, many ways. And maybe some feedback can just shift it, or maybe something that you imitate from one person that you knew is limiting you, and you start talking like them, walking like them, creating like them, being like them in the world, maybe having those
Exactly.
limitations the same as them. So it was really, really interesting to notice that. And maybe we can ask something now, uh, as we before we go just to the maybe next thing of being in the world now, on these days, on these times.
Right.
Um,
But can I just before, I mean, and this
yeah.
we'll play with later, especially about the right voice for you in your family, with your friends, in your relationships, in your business, with your boss or employees, in a grocery store. When you're willing to play with these tools of the right voice for you, it's the right voice for you in the moment, because talking fast can be something that actually gets people to listen to you. You know, sometimes you talk slow and they interrupt you or stop listening. Maybe it's about talking slowly, right? So these lovely people who are translating can translate, but they're amazing translators, so they don't
Oh,
require
yeah.
that. However, but
Thank
also,
you for the reminder.
well,
Yes.
also, no, no, also they're amazing. Also, if someone it's not their first, second, or third language, right? And also, so playing with the right voice for you, not that you have to do it as someone else does it, but if you know what someone is really willing to hear and you are approaching it from your voice, then it's something new for them because perhaps, yes, they've heard it, but they may not have heard it from your voice. So I just wanted to put that in. Yes.
Good that you did. Really glad that you did it. It's really, it's not about doing the right thing.
Hello.
I mean, yeah, it's not talking correct or right. There's no one correct way to talk, to facilitate, to be in the world, to create. It's about what voice or what creation or what presence do you have. And as you mentioned in the first part, when we're talking about right voice, it's also about expression, how we talk, how we present ourselves. It's also about um, creation, and it's also about presence. It's also about presence. And
Is
we
it
would
about
like to add,
presence? Is it about presence? Is that what you said? I'm just kidding.
oh,
Because,
yeah. Is it? Isn't
sometimes
it?
you
I don't
have to
know.
say
I
it
wasn't
seven
present for a
times.
moment.
It's about presence. It's about presence. It's about presence.
Yes.
It's about presence. Did
Yeah.
we say it's about presence? Did we say it's about presence?
Did you? I'm not
It's
sure.
about presence.
I wasn't present for a moment.
Presence.
Okay. So
Go
it's
ahead.
about presence. So bringing your voice, expression, it's about being present. Creation is about being present in the world. And we would like to add some more things that is there in the right voice, which is also have clarity with your voice, clarity with your part in the world. Like you said, what am I doing here? Why did I come to this life? What's the benefit of me being here? I don't know.
Right.
Maybe am I just consuming oxygen and food? Or maybe I can contribute something or receive something? So there's a big trick there.
Right.
And it's yet also about the voice. And it's important to put it here now. It's not, nothing is important really. Just, I would like to put it here now. So we can just see us and the world and start maybe talking about some contribution that we can be or receive from everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that about being present, because when you are being present, then what shows up is as if by magic for you, and you actually get it and receive it. So thank you so much for that.
Okay, now you have to say more about it. I'm sorry. You can just throw it away and go. It's please say more.
Yes, well, I remember, I mean, just some examples of when you have not been present and what shows up and how it shows up, right? And when you're really feeling like you're not um, enjoying life or not having the success, right, in a job, in a work, in a country, in a relationship. Um, is it something that you desire, require? Or is it actually something that's showing up in a different way than you imagined? So playing with these access tools and knowing, as I always say, you can never get you wrong, right? But when
Mhm.
you're willing to be present, what you hear, how you hear it, and how you respond is going to be something that can and will change. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and this presence is also when we're talking about clarity. Sometimes we can't get clarity about things if we're not really present. Like, okay, I would like clarity with what is my job in the world. Do I have any something to do here? If you want to have clarity with that, you should be present with everything, with the things that work in life, the thing that doesn't, the thing that you judge yourself for, the thing you're not evaluating in yourself. So it can be many, many things that if you start looking at that, you can have more clarity about your path, about your doings, about your creations, about your possibilities, even. So when you're present, the world, the universe will bring you the things that you ask for if you're present enough to, to recognize them, to see them, to be able to receive them. So even asking a question or asking something from the universe, it requires presence. Some presence of, okay, I'm now here opening up to receive what I asked for. I'm not controlling it, just trying or being this receiving energy of, okay, bring it on. Universe, I ask for it, I'm ready to receive. And yeah,
Yeah. So, a question:
yeah.
what is it? Anyone listening now, listening later, what is it that you would like to receive and that you would like to gift to the world? And is it time to really, access your communication genius, to have the right voice for you and really access your consciousness in a whole new way? Yeah. What is it that you would like to receive, achieve, and believe in you? I just thought I'd do a little rhyme.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't mean to rhyme, but I do it all the time. No, go
No,
ahead.
it's no, slam poetry, Cool. I love it in you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
is there something, because there's no coincidences, so why we're here together. And I just, don't want to spend too much time saying how much I like this woman who's talking with me. Don't tell her I said it. But because it's the same, different, and that's like most of the people on the planet, same, different, So are you willing? Truth. Are you willing to be the difference that you are and enjoy it? Because you
Mhm.
probably have a nose and two ears and two eyes and lips and fingers, and even if something is broken, but there is something different about you. And like we were saying, why you're here. So when you join us, and we're going to do a 3-part short little series, that is one of the things that Right Voice for You does. Any contribution that we can be to having you see you from different perspectives. And we don't know what's right for someone else. None of us know what's right for someone else. But when they are being their right voice, it illuminates us in a completely different way. And it
Yeah.
does change from one moment to the next.
Yeah, and it's like being your uniqueness, your difference, bringing your what you perceive that you can bring to the world. So, and I would like to also take it just for on some section here, there, the things we are now perceiving in the world can be not so much ease, I would say. Maybe you are, and it's ease for you, whatever is going on in any part of the world, you're there. Maybe it's not. And if it's not, it's like, I see many people like, oh, what is going on? And they're all shut down completely with their creation, or just saying, I don't want to be part of any of it, or I don't know how to create beyond it when so many awful things are going on, and everything is like so confusing. And we would like to offer some perspectives about that also here a little bit, and also in the telecall that we'll do, about being your voice is also what you perceive, and also recognizing what is said to you. Really, what the heck is now being said to me? It can be very confusing when we hear it from all over. Like, it can be media and news, and it can be social media, things that we just hear, we see, and it's like contracts us. Maybe it's not, but if it does, yeah, you don't have to be contracted. And if it does, there's something that you perceive there that if you recognize the truth behind it or beneath it or beyond it, it can be also your contribution to the world and can be your voice energetically to change what is going on in the world. So if enough people will see what's really going on, enough people will see, okay, will ask a question when they hear something like that and get clarity, they can also bring their voice, and there will be more of this energy around the planet. So something else can be brought collectively if we are all trying and starting, not just trying, starting to recognize, to have clarity with what is really said, what's beneath what is being said. What do I perceive here? What do I know is the truth here? What is the lie here, spoken or unspoken, which are all tools and questions we can use from access to start recognizing about this data that we are bombarded by from everywhere.
Yeah.
So what we do with this data is also becoming our voice. You know, they're saying today that you are the product in those days. There's no really products. The people become the product, the attention industry. So what we put our attention to becomes our payment. Okay. So what do you pay attention to? We pay attention. That's the energy that we bring to those things to be more present in the world. And if we are putting our attention on something else, maybe it will be different. So all those things are really, it can be small or big things. And yet the good news is that we can do something about it. We are not just victims of the data, of what is coming at us all the time. Also
Yeah.
from bodies, also from vaccines, also from points of view, also from lies, from everything. There are some things we can do and change things. That was
Absolutely.
my
Yes. So, what voice can you bring into the world in times of war, manipulation, and lies? Yeah. Yeah.
only
And
this question is like opening so many spaces. So
yeah,
let's ask again, and maybe let's clear something with that. Can we?
absolutely. So,
Okay.
what voice can you bring into the world in times of war, in times of manipulation, and in times of lies? What is the voice that you can bring into the world?
Everything that doesn't allow it. Can we just clear, please? Destroy and uncreate that.
Yes, please, right and wrong. Everything we've considered to be right and wrong, good and bad, all the points of creation and the points of destruction, the pox and the pods, all 9 layers, that have us really sitting into it, right? The shorts, and I don't mean the ones you put on your body, the boys and the beyonds,
And the povats also.
and all of the points of view that we're avoiding and defending,
Yeah.
are called the POVADs, and all
Whew.
the big fives, which we'll share more and play more with.
So if you are new to it in some way, I don't know how you got to us, and yet welcome. So
Welcome and
yeah,
bienvenue, welcome. Yes. And how you sing. Yeah. And how
yeah.
you talk,
So
how you walk. Yeah.
if you want to know more about the clearing statement, it's called Right and Wrong, Good and Bad, Pod and Poc, All Nine Shorts, Boys, Poets, and Beyond. So you can just go to the www.theclearingstatement.com and get all the explanation there. If you're like a veteran or just you walk a long way already with Access, you know it. And yet
It's
you can
good to
start
hear it
using that.
again.
Yeah. Of course.
Yes. Yes.
Always, it's a non-oldie, you know.
Yeah.
So I
And
would
when you
say,
begin
yeah.
connecting with the right voice for you and really willing to see how you can use that right voice for you and approach different things in your areas of
Mm.
your life, then what you've known or heard, like the clearing statement of access, when you read it again or see it again or hear it again, it actually shows up in a very different way. And
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah.
it's only been a little over 20 years that I've heard it, but each and every time it's something that,
Yeah. Is it possible that you're different every time after you hear it?
yes.
Yes.
And every time that after I say it, also, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
It's becoming
question
even
in
more present after each time I clear all the limitation and the layers about this subject. So let's just roll it again for one more time. What voice can you be in the world? What can you bring to the world in times of wars, manipulations, and lies? And what you don't you know or you don't know that you can be and you are and you bring to the world, but you don't count it. That can be a big, great contribution in times of wars, manipulations, and lies.
Mm.
Everything that doesn't allow you to see that, perceive that, receive that, and be that, maybe twice be that. Will you now please destroy and uncreate it all times a godzillion?
Times an Alazillion, Buddhazillion, Shivazillion, any zillion you
Any
want,
zillion you'd like.
right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, whole beds, and beyonds. Wow.
Wow, yeah.
And all the
Some
beyonds,
energy.
creating the beyonds eternally beyond, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, short boys, pulpits, and beyonds. So if you
Wow.
really like, when you would like to explore the right voice for you, please join us. Yes, there is a question here. I came
Cool.
through Fabio Meira post on Instagram. That's what Bianca said. Thank you, Bianca, for coming. And thank you, Fabio. Yeah, yeah. And the things that show up when you are willing to invest in you become something that is not just a contribution for you, but is also a contribution to others, And when there's that flow, and there's so many fabulous tools that if you're willing to start with you, having those tools of access consciousness, engaging with them, and you don't have to do access consciousness ever, but you become access consciousness, and it's accessing consciousness that you are. And how much can that really, in this particular time, change things? You know,
Yeah.
yeah, Gary I was in Australia years ago with a maybe an body class, advanced body, but they did a video. I think it's still on YouTube, and it had just been maybe 4 years that I was, 3 years or something with Access, and um and they did an interview with me. What do you want to use the tools for Access for?
Mm.
What do you want to use what do you want to do with these tools? Why are you a facilitator? What would you like to do with these tools of Access? And it was a time of manipulation, a time of lies, a time of war. And what I said is I'd like to blow the lie off of hatred.
Hmm.
So, and wars, and manipulation, and against religions, against race, against sexes, against all of that. It's
Small request, small ideas. Yeah, just small
yeah.
changes.
However, acknowledging that the truth, right, of you is accessible through this right voice for you.
Yeah.
And it really is something that whatever you'd like to create, change, expand, and release, it becomes quite easy when you are being you. There is some guy who wrote a book called Being You, Changing the World. Have you ever heard of that?
No, tell me.
Being You, Changing the World. Yes, Dr. Dane here. And Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, and Dr. Dane here, the co-creator. Their first books, and the first book with Gary is The Place, right?
Yeah.
It's now called El Lugar in Costa Rica, but The Place. And what is the place for you once you're willing to be very present with you? Then the place that is waiting for you shows up. Yeah. And
Yeah, and we were talking about some directions, and we will be addressing those things in the three-part telecall that we'll do. So we'll have their tools, we'll have questions. It's not just we'll be just fluffy. Okay, let's talk. We can, and yet we like to be very changing actively things in our lives and in our surroundings. So, and yet not fighting anything with that. So it can be like those things that we talked here about. We'll be going deep and wide to them, and we'll ask questions and bring you tools, and you can bring your questions and things you'd like to address about that. And I would like just to um, we'll be announcing about the link to go
yes,
there, of
yes.
course, and all the details.
I just put
And
in
yet,
the chat the February 13th link. So if you sign up there on the Access website, then you will get an auto response with all the information about that.
great.
Yeah.
And just to say something, maybe we are already on the top of the Zoom call, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm okay. So sometimes
You can't get you wrong.
if,
You
we can
cannot
you
get you
can
wrong. You cannot be mistaken by being no.
what would I do without it? I don't know. Okay. So just to mention, there's some it's not really from Access, and yet from sociology in the last few months or year, there's one term that I would like just to bring here, which is called post-truth. It's like we're living in an age that we don't know yet, or already, what's true and what's not. People are really confused about what's true, about what's really going on. And the truth is so malleable and so fluffy and changeable, and it all depends on who brings the story, or who is talking louder, or anything. And to know the truth today, you can't go to the encyclopedia anymore. There's something else needed and required. We are going to another era with that. And for that, as I see it, as we see it, if I can speak
Dois,
by your half,
deixa-me só proteger.
yes, of course, I talk in
Austriano.
another language now. So
Huh?
for that, we should and can use energetic tools. So we have a new compass of being now and knowing where to go, what to do, to know what's true and what's not. When something is like some story is just been told to us. So I find that the energetic tools, and especially the energetic tools of access and the right voice for you also, as a new guide, to know and to perceive and to know what you perceive and to have ease with that, so you can bring yourself and bring your voice and bring your creation beyond all the limitations that are the lies that are bombarded at us. So it's
and be it
just in a short
and receive
way.
it.
Yeah.
And be it and receive it.
Yes.
Did I say be it and receive it? Yes. Perceive,
Yeah.
know, be and receive. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what we suggest. So will you go with this on this journey with us? Just this adventure of seeing differently what's going on and getting the tools and the ways and the journey together to go there.
Yes. And your vibration will be delighted and delicious. So please, thank you so much for joining us here. And any questions, again, I put in the chat, I'll put it again. It's it says a free Zoom. We will respond to you. And if we're probably going to do the starting next week. So just give us a chat and let us know what you would like to engage with. All right.
Yeah. And I just say for few words, famous words, I don't know, something that Cass, to do something with you is really an honor for me, a big honor. I see you working and doing and facilitating in Access so amazingly for many years now. And for me, it's like, wow. So I'm enthused. I'm happy to do that. I'm looking forward to it. I know we are changing things now. The energy is already like buzzing from the last days. We started creating that, and I'm looking forward to everything.
Me too. Yeah, me too. And I love that. And now I know why I came to Israel maybe 8 years ago and did a body class, my
Yes.
7 Steps book in 20 different languages, and you were translating me, and I met you. And the gal that introduced us, I haven't talked to her in years, but I'm thankful for her for introducing us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you really for being willing to be here, the translators. And when we start this series, we would love to have you there. All right.
Yes.
Yes.
And just to say, just to mention some, we have translation in I would almost say the English translation. So we have Hebrew, we have Romanian, we have Spanish, we have Portuguese, we have Russian, we have Spanish. Did I forget anyone?
Yes, we have
Romanian,
Arabic, we have Turkish, we have yes, Croatian, any language that and it's really fun sometimes to go into a language that you don't actually know. I remember when maybe it was during one of my 3-day body classes, or maybe it was during a foundation when we were listening to Dr. Dane do his ESC, which is something that, in the foundation to listen to. I listened to it in Chinese, and it was amazing because I was not in my mind. Wow. I was actually receiving the energy of it. So yeah, just play. Yeah. What is just the right place for you in this moment?
Yeah, and just to pay respect, did you know that Cass, we have translation now in Access thanks to Cass. I just say, okay. Just to mention, she brought the first translation to Access Class. So
and the books as well. Yeah.
And the books as well.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So yeah, join us if you would like to. We'll be happy to see you. And again, Cass, thank you so much. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, dear translators. You're amazing. I know your work and you're doing great. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Cass, again.
Bye-bye. And I just leave you there because I'd love to be on with the people for a moment.
Cool.
Awesome. Amazing. Amazing grace.
Yes.
Yes. All right. And you can turn off your recording. I'll just take a picture of you. Cool. Yes.
Send it to me. Send it to me later.
Yes. Send it to me. Send your sweet love and
tag me.
Right. So on three, we will stop the recording. 1, 2, 3.